1990 సంవత్సరంలో డాక్టర్ బాబ్జీ గారి ప్రోత్సాహంతో ప్రారంభించిన మాంటిసోరీ స్కూల్
ప్రారంభంలో కేవలం 42 మంది విద్యార్థులే.
సెక్రటరీ అండ్ కరెస్పాండెంట్ ఎం రాంప్రసాద్ గారు క్వాలిటీ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ అందించడమే లక్ష్యంగా సంస్థను నిర్వహించిన తీరు స్కూల్ కు మంచి గుర్తింపును తెచ్చింది.
ఎంఎస్ వాసు గారి సహచర బృందం సైన్స్ ఫెయిర్ నందు విద్యార్థులకు శిక్షణ ఇచ్చి 2002లో మండల స్థాయి, జిల్లా స్థాయి మరియు రాష్ట్ర స్థాయి నందు ప్రథమ స్థానంతో ఉల్లంపర్రు మాంటిసోరీ తన ప్రతిభను లోకానికి చాటింది.
విద్యార్థులను పేరు పేరునా పలకరిస్తూ పేరెంట్స్ సలహాలకు ప్రాధాన్యతనిచ్చే ప్రిన్సిపాల్ గా వసంతలక్ష్మి గారు, నైపుణ్యంతో పాఠ్యాంశాలు బోధించే శ్రీపాద సీతారామ శర్మ గారు అకాడమిక్ డైరెక్టర్ గా అనేక సంవత్సరాలుగా బాధ్యతలు వహిస్తున్న అనుభవజ్ఞులైన సిబ్బందితో పాటు వందలాది మంది ఉపాధ్యాయులు విద్యార్థుల అభివృద్ధి కొరకు కృషి చేస్తున్నారు.
1990లో అతి సాధారణంగా ఏర్పాటు చేసిన మాంటిసోరీ స్కూల్ మారుతున్న కాలానికి తగ్గట్టుగా వసతులు పెంచుకుంటూ నూతన విద్యా విధానానికి అనుగుణంగా అధునాతన టెక్నాలజీ ఏర్పాటు చేసుకుంటూ అత్యుత్తమ విద్యా సంస్థగా ఎదిగింది. ఉల్లంపర్రు మాంటిసోరీ అంటే చదువులో నెంబర్ 1, ఆటలలో నెంబర్ 1, సాంస్కృతిక కార్యక్రమాలలో నెంబర్ 1.
విద్యార్థి ఆల్రౌండ్ డెవలప్మెంట్ కు చిరునామా ఉల్లంపర్రు మాంటిసోరీ స్కూల్,
ద లీడర్ ఇన్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్.
Good morning students, this is Anna Miss. Today we are going to discussing chemistry bond in PS. So this is one of the weighted topic regarding your exams, that is metallurgy. So we entered the metallurgy lesson by completing our atomic structure, periodic classification and chemical bonding. So in the atomic structure we already learned how the atomic number according to the atomic number we are arranged the electrons in the main cells, then subcells, then after orbitals. So that systematic arrangement we call it as the electronic configuration. So we are very clear in the atomic structure how we have to write the electronic configuration of the elements according to the atomic number. After completing the electronic configuration, then coming to the chemical bonding lesson, we learned valency electrons and valency. Valency electrons means the number of electrons present in the outermost orbit. Outermost orbit, how many electrons? It is the valency electrons. And valency, the capability of combining, when the molecule is forming, the capability of combining capacity is called as the valency. So these two we learned in the lesson chemical bonding, valency electrons and valency. First, after writing the electronic configuration, then we'll find the valency electrons and valency. Then after, we are arranging those elements, 118 elements in a chart, that's we call it as the periodic table. In the periodic table, there are the 18 groups. In 1A group, yeah, you know you are saying, yeah, 1A group, the valency electrons is 1 and valency is 1. They are arranged all in 1A group. And if valency or valence electrons is 2, they are arranged in group 2. And valence electrons 3, they are arranged in the group 3. So in the periodic table, completely in the left side, the valency 1, 2, 3, they arranged in group 1A, group 2A, group 3A. See students, valency 1 or valency electrons 1, 2, 3 means those elements are so reactive. They are ready, they won't exist in the combined state. They are always trying to attain the stable configuration to losing 1 electron, by losing 2 electrons, by losing 3 electrons. So in the coming to the periodic table, from the left side, 1A group, 2A group, 3A group elements are more reactive and they are the metallic in nature. This we learned in the periodic table. In the periodic table already we discussed moving from left to right, the metallic nature decreases. So coming to our metallurgy today, how we will get those metals. So these metals are more reactive state. How is it they will available directly like this? Iron is available directly for us in the earth? No, it will. By the more reactive, it is in the combined form. So we are coming to our metallurgy lesson, how these metals exist in our earth crust. The main source of these all metals is our earth crust, and some metals will available in seawater. Okay, so the metals 1A, 2A, 3A elements are the more metallic properties. Those metallic properties which they will possess, they are highly reactive. Means they won't exist in single state. they are in the combined state. So two or more elements are combined, two or more different elements are combined, those we call it as the compounds. The compounds which consisting of metal, a compound which consisting of metal, those are called as the minerals. Okay students, so metals are so reactive, so that's why they won't exist in the single state, they always exist in the combined state. Two or more elements is combining in different proportions, those we call it as the compounds. So the compound which consisting of metal, compounds means combining of two or more different elements. For example, I am taking the example, giving the example for the compounds. Carbon dioxide is the compound, Fe2O3 is the compound, H2O is the compound. See, carbon and oxygen combine two different elements. Iron, oxygen combine two different elements. Hydrogen and oxygen combine two different elements. These all come under the Al2O3. These are all the compounds. But the compounds which consisting of metal. See here carbon or the oxygen. Any metal present in this compound? No. Carbon is the non-metal, oxygen also non-metal. But coming to this compound Fe2O3, here Fe, iron, oxygen. So the compound which consisting of metal, that's we call it as the mineral. Here see H2O is the compound, hydrogen is the non-metal, oxygen is the non-metal. Of course it is the up to now they didn't confirm the position of the hydrogen. We will say that hydrogen is in 1A group, so it is the metal, but we won't consider it as the metal. Okay, so there is some more experiments going on where the placement of the hydrogen. So here hydrogen is metal or not, again question mark is there. Coming to Al2O3, aluminium, oxygen. This is the compound formed by combining of aluminium and oxygen. So aluminium is the metal, it will belongs to which group? 3A group. Yes or no? So aluminium, the compound, this is the formula for bauxite, Al2O3 to H2O. So this is the compound consisting of aluminium and oxygen. So the compound which consisting of metal, that's we call it as the mineral. Are you clear? The compound which consisting of metal. So here two compounds, Fe2O3 and Al2O3. So in this the metal is present in this compound, that's why we call it as the minerals. And children, we know that students, all the metals, the earth crust is available from our earth crust. So the most abundant metal in our earth crust is aluminium. So aluminium exists in so many compounds. It will form available for in so many compounds. So aluminium is the metal. The compound consisting of aluminium, we call it as the mineral. So the mineral of aluminium will occurs in so many forms, but we will extract aluminium from some minerals only. All metals will not extract from all the minerals, all the ores will not extract from all the minerals. The metal which we will extract from which mineral, that's we call it as the ore. Ore means the metal from which mineral we will extract, that's we call it as the ore. Are you clear the difference between mineral and ore? Mineral is the compound which consisting of metal, from which mineral we will extract the metal. Means why we are choosing some minerals only to extract the metals, means we have to notice 2 points. In which mineral we have to extract the metal, means we have to consider it with low cost, means profitable and very easily. Low cost, are you clear? From which mineral will extract metal with low cost and easily, that's we call it as the ore. So aluminum is the more abundant mineral in our earth crust, metal in our earth crust, but we will extract aluminum metal from only one mineral, that is the bauxite. So bauxite is the ore. Bauxite is the ore of aluminum metal. The formula of bauxite is Al2O3 2H. Are you clearing students? So the compound which consisting of metals, those are called as the minerals. From which mineral we will choose to extract the metal, that's we call it as the ore. So for example, I am giving here bauxite, it is the ore of aluminium. So now I will give the list of ores. Those are very important ores. So you have to by hand those formulas of the ores. Are you clearing? So which metal will extract from which mineral, that's we call it as the ore. So you have to know the ore formulas. Please by hand it. That is very important for half mark and 1 mark questions for your regarding exams. So now you cleared the students about the minerals and ores. So the metal which is in the compound state we call it as the mineral. From which mineral we choose to extract the metal, that is called as the ore. So how we have to extract the metal from the ore? There is process is there. That process we call it as the metallurgy. The process of extracting metal, from the ore, we call it as the metallurgy. So we are saying it is the process. So the process will take place by 3 steps. The process of extracting metal from the ore is called as the metallurgy. That process will take place by 3 stages. First, the initial stage is dressing. The initial stage we call it as the dressing, or we call it as the concentration of the ore. The second stage is extracting crude metal. The third step is refining. Are you clearing? Metallurgy means the process of extracting metal from the ore. Are you clearing? The process will take by 3 steps. The first step is dressing or concentration of the ore. The second step is extracting crude metal. The third one is the refining. So coming to first initial stage, that is the dressing. So already we discussed the ore will available from the earth crust, means it consisting of physical impurities like rock, sand, soil, etc. Those rocky impurities we call it as the gangue. Are you clearing? So first how we have to clean those impurities, rocks, salt, sand, means by watering. That's we call it as the cleaning. So the metal which will occur in our earth crust, first in whatever stage it will appear, that first we have to make into the small pieces. That process we call it as the crushing. The dressing mainly takes place by 2 methods. One is the, again in this we are taking 2 steps. First is the crushing, and next step is we have to concentrate on the ore. Concentrate on the students. Before going to dressing, we already discussed ore and mineral. No, I forgotten to remember you one step. The question is, all the ores are the minerals or all the minerals are the ores? This is the very twisting question. All ores are the minerals, but all minerals are not ores. Are you clearing? All the ores are the minerals, but all the minerals are not ores. Why means which mineral we will applicable to extract the metal, that we consider it as the ore. Are you clearing? Which mineral we will preferable to extract the metal, that is the ore. So all the ores are the minerals, but all the minerals are not ores. So there 3 1-mark questions. What is the mineral, what is the ore, and what is the metallurgy? These 3, remember these 3 are the 1-mark questions, very important. Now we are going to discussing about the process of dressing. So coming to the process of dressing, in dressing will take place by 2 stages. So first of all, whatever ore available in our earth crust, we have to collect it and we have to make it into the small pieces. That process we call it as the crushing. With the help of rollers, we will make it into small pieces. That is the initial step. Then after, already we discussed, it is coming from the earth crust. That's why it consisting of impurities, soils and rock. So we have to clean it. That cleaning process will takes by 4 steps depending upon the ore. Okay. So first washing, hand picking. First we have to make the ore into small pieces. Then after we have to clean it. That we call it as the concentration of the ore. This concentration of the ore takes place by 4 steps: washing, hand picking, flotation, next magnetic separation. So coming to the washing means we have to clean it. So how we have to clean it means we have to clean it with water. Which ores we are preferable for washing means the ore which has the impurities is more densible in the water. Those ore we will dissolve in the water, or we have to pour the water very forcefully. By that, less density particles will flow out, less density, the impurity is less density, it will flow out through the water. If the impurity is more denser, it will settle down in the water. So by this method, we will clean the ore. Are you clearing? So the washing goes through by washing with water. We have to wash it with the water. So it is preferable for the impurity and metal are different in densities. Difference in densities. The impurity is more densible, it will settle down. If the impurity is less denser, it is flowed from the water. Okay. Next, hand picking. It is physical separation. Means by seeing the color and size, we have to separate by hand. That's we call it as the hand picking. Next, froth flotation. Coming to the froth flotation, students, here we have to take a container. In that container we have to take the water and we have to add some oil in it. Students, we already discussed in our carbonate compounds how we have to remove the greasy matter from the clothes. Their soap molecules and water, we dissolve the detergent in the water, or you are very familiar with that. So here also we are adding some oil in the water. By that we are making that hydrophobic and hydrophilic. Hydrophobic and which is the hydrophobic? Hydro means water, phobic means fear. Here which will not like the water, which will not attack the water, that is the hydrophobic. So here oil is the hydrophobic and water is the hydrophilic. Are you clear? We are taking a container, in that we are adding the water and we are adding the oil. Here we are preparing the oil is fine oil. Okay. Which oil we are preparing in the froth flotation? Fine oil. So water and oil we both taking. So this is the mixture. In a container we are taking a mixture of water and oil. One is the hydrophobic nature and one is the hydrophilic nature. Which is hydrophobic means oil is the hydrophobic nature and water is the hydrophilic. Now the ore which consisting of impurities, metal and impurity. One, if the impurity is hydrophobic, it will it will attract the oil. It is phobic with water. So it will come away from the water and it will stick with the oil. But the impurity is hydrophilic, it will stick in the water. By that we will churn it, it will come out the impurity by the froth. That process we call it that the froth flotation. Mainly sulfide ores is preferable for the froth flotation. Are you clearing? So the froth flotation, what the solution we are taking, what the mixture we are taking here, oil and water. So the ore and or the metal and impurity both are consisting of, one is hydrophobic nature and another one is the hydrophilic nature. Which is hydrophobic nature, it will stick with the oil and it will come out by the froth. When we churn the milk, how the cream will come out like the froth, same thing. When we churn it, the oil will come out with the froth. Are you clear? So this is the process of froth flotation. Next, magnetic separation. Coming to the magnetic separation, so in the process of concentration of the ore, the one more process is magnetic separation. So magnetic separation means magnet. So the ore which is the magnetic substance, that we will separate by this method, magnetic separation. Coming to the magnetic separation, already the ore we make into the small pieces. That ore we have to take into a container. In the container, and that container will placed on a belt. That container placed on a belt. That belt to end. The belt means it will roll through the wheels. So we here one wheel. If the belt another end is another wheel. So the belt will move like this through the wheels. Are you clear? So ore we taken in a container and we have to make it to pass on. We will pouring that ore on a belt. The belt is moving through the wheels. See here, the wheel, one is magnetic wheel. It is the magnetic wheel. It is non-magnetic. Are you clearing? The one wheel is made by the magnet. Here we arrange a plate or a two containers. Are you clear? So this method will applicable for the ore which consisting of magnetic substance. So when you pour the ore here, the ore passes through the belt and it will come to like the ore particles will come like this. If the ore is magnetic, it will, this is the magnetic wheel. So it will stick the wheel and up to here it will come and it will fall. Here onwards there is no magnet. It will stick it and it will come out. If the ore is the impurity is non-magnetic, it will also combine with the ore, it will come out and it will not attract the magnet. So through the belt it will come out, due to gravity it will fall like this. Are you clear? This is the magnetic separation. This is favorable mainly for the iron ores. So here two marks questions. Write a short notes about Froth rotation, write a short notes on magnetic separation. These are the two important 2 marks questions for you students. So Froth rotation mainly will applicable for the sulfide ores and magnetic separation will be applicable for magnetic substances like the ore which consisting of magnetic substances which is like iron. Okay, this is about the process of concentration of the ore. Up to now how much we completed? So what is the mineral means? The metal, the compound which consisting of metal, we call it as the mineral. From which mineral we will extract the metal? That's we call it as the ore. So how we have to extract means the process of extracting metal from the ore, we call it as the metallurgy. That's the first step in the process is dressing. During the dressing, first we have to crush it, then after we have to clean it. During the cleaning process, how we have which steps we are taking means first hand picking, washing, Froth rotation and magnetic separation. By that we are clean the ore. Now we are entering into the second process. So coming to the process of metallurgy, the second stage is concentration on the ore. Second stage is the extracting of crude metal. Extracting of crude metal. So this extracting of crude metal again taking in 2 stages. First we have to convert the ore into oxide form. First we have to convert the ore into oxide form, that's we call converting into the ore into metallic oxide. Next stage is reduction. Converting first we are into the metallic oxide. Metallic oxide means metal plus oxygen. Then reduction. Then we have to make it into the reduction. Reduction means removing of oxygen. Converting into oxide, then removing of, we need no need of oxygen with the metal. We need only the metal. That's why we have to remove that oxygen. That process we call it as the reduction. So how we have to convert it into the metallic oxide? So we convert ore into metallic oxide by 2 steps. One is by 2 processes, that is roasting and calcination. So how we will convert metal into metallic oxide means by the 2 methods, roasting and calcination. Students, you know that roasting and calcination both are the pyrochemical process. Pyro means heating. So during the both process we will heat the ore. But we are coming to here this is also we will heat. In this process also we will heat and in this process also we will heat. But here the heating will goes in the presence of oxygen, but here. So these 2 are the pyrochemical process. Roasting goes heating in the presence of oxygen. Calcination is also heating process. It goes by the absence of oxygen. So from which ore we have to heat it in the presence of oxygen, which ore we have to heat it in the absence of oxygen, we have to consider it first. So in this, why the roasting and calcination we are taking this, during the roasting and calcination we are converting into oxide. So the ore which not consisting of oxide, those ores we have to heat it in the process of roasting, means by adding of oxygen and we have to heat it. In which ore already it consisting of oxygen, so no need of adding of oxygen, that's why we have to choose the calcination. So coming to the roasting, we will choose the copper sulfide, iron sulfide, galena. In this the sulfide ores, are you remembering? Roasting process which takes place by for the sulfide ores, there is no oxygen. So here the metal is copper, iron and lead. So these metals we have to convert into the oxide form. So that's why we have to add the oxygen and we have to heat. So we will convert into the oxides. By adding of oxygen, the ore which not consisting of oxygen particles, those ores will come under the process of roasting. By that we have to convert them into the oxide forms. So the ore which consisting of oxygen, which one will you say? Limestone. What is the formula of limestone? Calcium carbonate. See, already oxygen here, so no need of adding of oxygen. That's why we have to heat in the absence of oxygen. By that we will get it. The carbon dioxide will evaporate and be converted into the oxide form. Okay, magnesium carbonate. Okay, magnesium carbonate. So when we heat it, we will converting it into the magnesium oxide. So converting metal into oxide form by the process of calcination, which ores you are using means carbonate ores will come under the calcination. Please remember the calcination carbonate ores. Calcinate Ca. Carbonate ores will takes place under the process of calcination to convert into the oxides. Are you clearing? So roasting, during the roasting and calcination will convert metals into oxides. In the roasting we will heat in the presence of oxygen. In the calcination we will heat it in the absence of oxygen. But in the two methods we are converting them into the oxides. So first step in the coming to the extraction of the crude metal, we convert into the metallic oxide by the methods of roasting and calcination. Are you clear, students? Which ores we have to come under the roasting and which ores will come under the calcination? This is very important 2 marks question. Distinguish calcination and roasting. First, these two are it is pyrochemical, it is also pyrochemical. It is heat in the presence of oxygen, it will heat in the absence of oxygen. Mainly sulfide ores will come under the roasting and carbonate ores will take place in the calcination. So one more thing we have, I am remembering you children, here we are heating. Here heating means the ore not this much, a huge amount we have to heat it. So that whatever the container will take to place the ore for the heating, that's we call it as the furnace. These two methods, roasting and calcination, carry out the furnace. That furnace we call it as the revertebrate furnace. We call it as the revertebrate furnace. So these two pyrochemical process takes place in a furnace, that is the revertebrate furnace. Students, up to now we discussed about the three process: torpidation, magnetic separation and calcination and roasting. Calcination and roasting will take place by the revertebrate furnace. So these three diagrams you have to practice. Are you clearing? Very well you have to practice. This is definite diagram from your chemistry part. I am sure about it. Okay. Now coming to the next stage. After converting into metallic oxide, we have to convert into the reduction. We converted ores into oxide forms. Now we need only the metal. That's why we have to remove the oxygen. That removing of oxygen we call it as the reduction. So again this reduction. So during the reduction we have to remove the oxygen. So how we have to remove the oxygen means, see, lead oxide. We converted lead into oxide form by the process of roasting. Are you clear? So then after we have to remove this oxygen by adding coke. By adding coke we have to remove the oxygen, or by adding of carbon monoxide we have to remove the oxygen, and by adding of, in these three steps we will, in any process we have to choose to remove the oxygen. When lead oxide adding a coke, it will convert into the, we will get the carbon monoxide and we will get the metal lead. By adding the carbon monoxide to this lead oxide, we will get the carbon dioxide plus lead. We will adding hydrogen, but then we will get the water plus lead. See, only metal we are getting. Are you clearing? So first we have the convert into the oxide, then we have to removing the oxygen. By how we are removing this? By adding of coke or carbon monoxide or adding of hydrogen. This is called as a reduction process. So for this, these three will applicable for all ores means no. Only these three will, by adding of coke, by adding of carbon monoxide, by adding of hydrogen, will it is applicable to remove the oxygen for only some ores. The ore is iron oxide, copper oxide and lead oxide. For zinc oxide, we will add only coke. By adding only coke, we will remove the oxygen. But these remaining three modes, by these any step we have to choose, and we will get the pure metal. Okay. Students, before going to this, on these metals according to reactivity, arranging them into a decreasing series, that's we call it decreasing. According to reactivity, arranging them in the descending order, that series we call it as the activity series. According to reactivity, arranging the elements into descending order, that series we call it as the activity series. That is very important, one more question for you. So coming to the activity series, the first they arranged the highly reactive, then after moderate reactive, then low reactivity. So activity series is again classified into three parts: highly reactive, moderate reactive and low reactive. Coming to highly reactive, which will come under the highly reactive means potassium, sodium, magnesium, calcium, aluminium. Are you clear? Which will come into the highly reactive means potassium, sodium, magnesium, calcium and aluminium. Coming to the moderate reactive, iron, copper, lead, zinc will come under the moderate reactive. Coming to the low reactive, gold, silver, mercury, platinum. Are you clear? So this according to the reactivity, arranging them into the descending order, that series we call it as the activity series. Okay. So here see we do reduction process, we taken the reducing course, ferrous oxide, copper oxide, lead oxide. So only from moderate reactions, moderate elements, moderate metals in the reactive series which are in the moderate stage, those we will reducing by adding coke, carbon monoxide and hydrogen. But coming to the less reactive, gold arum symbol Au, silver Ag, mercury, these are the very low reactive metals. This means they are very less sticked with oxygen. They are also in the oxide forms but very less attraction between them. So easily we have to remove the oxygen by simply heating. Are you clearing? So simply by heating we have to remove oxygen and we have reduce into the pure metal. Now coming to the problem is coming to the highly reactive. They are very bonded with the oxygen atoms. When we convert into the oxygen, oxide, metallic oxide, they are bonded with the oxygen very strongly. So how we have to remove oxygen from metallic oxide? The metals are highly reactive. Sodium oxide, magnesium oxide, calcium oxide, these are all the highly reactive metals compared with the oxygen. They are strongly bonded by means they are highly reactivity. So how we have to remove this means by the process of electrolysis. So you know the electrolysis, there are the electrodes and we have to take the anode and cathode and we have to in molten stage we have to take it at the ore taken in the molten stage, and by the process of current electricity they will split into the ions and they will settle down at the anode and cathode. By this process we will extract the pure metal, we will extract the metal from the oxygen by the process of electrolysis. Okay. So highly reactive metals, how we have to reduce oxygen means by the process of electrolysis. Moderate metals we will by adding of coke, carbon monoxide and hydrogen. Coming to the less reactive metals, by heating we will reduce the oxygen. So two steps completed students by in the process of metallurgy. One is dressing process. In the dressing process, first we have to crush it, then next we have to clean it. During the cleaning, what we have to do it? Hand picking, washing, froth protection, magnetic separation. Next stage is concentration of the ore. During the concentration of the ore, we have to convert into the metallic oxide, then we have to reduce. During the metallic oxide process, again roasting, and how we have to convert metal into oxide means by the process of roasting and calcination. Then after reduction. So moderate metals we have to reduce by adding coke, carbon monoxide and hydrogen. Highly reactive we will convert into pure metal from metallic oxide by the process of electrolysis, and low reactive metals we convert by heating. Okay, now coming to the last stage, that is the refining of metals or purifying of metals. So the last step from the extracting the metals from the ore is the refining, or we call it as the purification. In this stage we are going to 4 methods. One is the distillation and pouring, liquefaction, electrolyting refining or electro refining. Okay students, so in the refining process, which this is the distillation process. The distillation process takes place, the crude metal consisting of impurity as highly density, the boiling points are different. The boiling points are different, metal and impurity. Those, so for which crude metal we will choose the distillation means the crude metal which consisting of impurity, those impurity and crude metal boiling points are different. Which has the high boiling point, which one is consisting of high boiling point and another one consisting of low boiling point. For that we have to choose the distillation method. So during the distillation we will separate low boiling metals from the high boiling impurities. Okay, next polling. During the polling they will heat it with the help of log, a huge green logs. They will mix the impurity with, they will mix it with the impurity, not the crude metal, they will combine with the huge green logs. By that the impurity will stuck with the logs and come out in the process of slag. For that mainly blister copper preferable for the process of polling. Next, liquefaction. Liquefaction, the crude metal and impurity which consisting of different in their melting points. In this process we will separate low melting point from high melting point metals. Okay, next, electro refining. Mainly 900% purity will come by the electro refining. In this electro refining, by passing the electricity we are refining or we are purifying. That's why we call it as the electro refining. So in this electro refining, electro means we need to consisting of 2 electrodes. One is anode, another one is the cathode. Here anode is taken as the cathode. During the electrolyting refining, anode is taken as the, in electrolyting refining, anode is taken as the impure metal, cathode is taken as the pure metal. Please remember here, very important half mark bit, in electrolyting refining, anode is taken as the impure metal. For example, copper means impure copper, cathode is taken as the pure copper. So those two are the which the ore consisting of which metal, that impurity is taken as the anode, that pure form will taken as the cathode. So we need the electrolyte. For electrolysis we need the electrolyte. That electrolyte is taken as the aqueous plus salt. The salt is also made by that regarding metal only. For example, here we are refining copper. So anode is taken as the impure copper, cathode is taken as the pure copper, and here electrolyte, in the electrolyte the salt is also taken by the metal copper only, that is copper sulfate. Electrolyte also consisting of copper metal, anode is also made up of impure copper and cathode is by the pure copper. So by this method they will extract the pure metal. By means it will travel toward by reducing. Are you clearing? Here adding of electrons, the copper will lose 2 electrons. Those electrons will pass and get settle at the cathode. By this we will get the pure copper will collect at cathode. The impurity will settle at the anode. Okay, this is about the process of electro refining. Okay students, during the process of metallurgy, 3 steps: dressing or concentration of the ore, next extracting of the crude metal, and the third stage is the refining or purification. Okay, so this is about the up to now we completed the process of metallurgy. Then we will got the pure form of the metals. So the next continuity will come for you, how the metal will corrode. They are highly reactive, they won't exist. So again they will combine into it, expose into air and water. Water vapor in the atmosphere, they will corrode. Iron will corrode into the rust. Iron will combine with atmospheric oxygen, it form into the rust, and Copper form the bluish green layer when it exposed to atmosphere, that is also called corrosion. Silver tarnish, it will turns into black color. So this is called as the corrosion of the metals. Okay, so but the corrosion is mainly occurs by the air, and the reason for the corrosion of the metals is air or in the air, oxygen and water vapor. Okay students, this is our metallurgy, one of the weightage lesson. Regarding this lesson, please practice the diagrams, and only one essay is there, how the metals will corrode, what are the affecting factors for the corrosion. Okay, thank you for your attention, all the best.
1990 సంవత్సరంలో డాక్టర్ బాబ్జీ గారి ప్రోత్సాహంతో ప్రారంభించిన మాంటిసోరీ స్కూల్
ప్రారంభంలో కేవలం 42 మంది విద్యార్థులే.
సెక్రటరీ అండ్ కరెస్పాండెంట్ ఎం రాంప్రసాద్ గారు క్వాలిటీ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ అందించడమే లక్ష్యంగా సంస్థను నిర్వహించిన తీరు స్కూల్ కు మంచి గుర్తింపును తెచ్చింది.
ఎంఎస్ వాసు గారి సహచర బృందం సైన్స్ ఫెయిర్ నందు విద్యార్థులకు శిక్షణ ఇచ్చి 2002లో మండల స్థాయి, జిల్లా స్థాయి మరియు రాష్ట్ర స్థాయి నందు ప్రథమ స్థానంతో ఉల్లంపర్రు మాంటిసోరీ తన ప్రతిభను లోకానికి చాటింది.
విద్యార్థులను పేరు పేరునా పలకరిస్తూ పేరెంట్స్ సలహాలకు ప్రాధాన్యతనిచ్చే ప్రిన్సిపాల్ గా వసంతలక్ష్మి గారు, నైపుణ్యంతో పాఠ్యాంశాలు బోధించే శ్రీపాద సీతారామ శర్మ గారు అకాడమిక్ డైరెక్టర్ గా అనేక సంవత్సరాలుగా బాధ్యతలు వహిస్తున్న అనుభవజ్ఞులైన సిబ్బందితో పాటు వందలాది మంది ఉపాధ్యాయులు విద్యార్థుల అభివృద్ధి కొరకు కృషి చేస్తున్నారు.
1990లో అతి సాధారణంగా ఏర్పాటు చేసిన మాంటిసోరీ స్కూల్ మారుతున్న కాలానికి తగ్గట్టుగా వసతులు పెంచుకుంటూ నూతన విద్యా విధానానికి అనుగుణంగా అధునాతన టెక్నాలజీ ఏర్పాటు చేసుకుంటూ అత్యుత్తమ విద్యా సంస్థగా ఎదిగింది. ఉల్లంపర్రు మాంటిసోరీ అంటే చదువులో నెంబర్ 1, ఆటలలో నెంబర్ 1, సాంస్కృతిక కార్యక్రమాలలో నెంబర్ 1.
విద్యార్థి ఆల్రౌండ్ డెవలప్మెంట్ కు చిరునామా ఉల్లంపర్రు మాంటిసోరీ స్కూల్,
ద లీడర్ ఇన్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్.
All the best.